Good morning, ladies and gents. So here we are on the PTR server, and we're going to be exploring everything that Season 13 is bringing with it next week on 1st of September when it officially drops. Before we get into the video though, hit that subscribe button if you want to be kept up to date with the latest and greatest of Conquerors Blade. So then, we are here into Season 13, and what you are seeing right now is our entry into the Colosseum. This is the brand new game mode. This is the 6v6 game mode, which is coming in and is going to be a permanent game mode in the game. Now, there isn't 6v6 in these battles, unfortunately, as I had forgot to download the PTR server, so I didn't actually get on until a little bit later, and most of the CCs had gone at that point, so they reduced down the number of people in the battle for us to actually get some content. However, when this does officially release, this will go into 6v6 on the main server. What it is obviously 6 of you running into the Colosseum with a unit which is not cavalry, and then going toe to toe, trying to score points and trying to get rid of your enemy's points as well. AI does spawn in here, which I believe if you kill it does give you a bit of a point boost as well. There is a flag, and there are different stages to the battle as well. Depending on how you are doing and depending on how well you do in terms of killing things, then actually you will get what is known as support units. Now, this can actually come with cavalries, which is why you can see some of the cavalry on the map in some of this gameplay. You cannot spawn into the battle with cavalry, but you can be given a cavalry as a random support unit, so you can actually go into the game after you are given it with that cavalry. It's quite a fun little game mode. I can see it's being well played for the first couple of weeks, and then I can see it unfortunately probably tailoring off, but I may be wrong there, but we will see just how well that mode does go down. So moving on into everything else in the season, so we are going to explore everything. So firstly, the Conqueror's Path. This is your regular battle pass, obviously 100 levels of fun, frolics, goodies and all the rest of it, and all the way up until level 65 you will be getting a reward for every level of free plus every level of premium as well if you go and get the battle pass. If you are planning on playing the game a lot, if you are looking at really grinding out the battle pass, then I would suggest you do go and get that battle pass, because it is actually going to increase your glory by 50%, so that is obviously going to make it a lot easier to level up in that battle pass. Stay tuned as well, because I have recently launched a giveaway for the battle pass that is going to be in the next couple of days. I have already got a load of entries from the first video. I'm going to give you a second chance to enter in this video. We are going to do that near the end of the video. So moving on up, I'm going to show you the level 1 premium armor, which is really nice, pretty cool, liking that. Moving on up all the way to level 50 is the next big kind of armor set, skin set and everything. This is obviously for the units and the hero, pretty cool, liking it. Moving on up, you will notice there is a little bit of difference at the level 70. We are getting a horse attire this season around, and not a season weapon skin. I will go into that in a little bit. Moving all the way then up to level 100 is the level 100 armor set for this season. Very nicely detailed, very Romanesque, gladiator-esque, with the lion head and everything on the shoulder. Really nicely detailed kind of armor set there. Obviously, once you go past that level 100, you'll be getting loads of blades. You'll also be getting these new glory packs as well, which will come with a whole host of different things in here. Once you pass 100, it's just all about getting the blades, to be honest, for the seasonal store, which is what we're going to explore now. So, we are not going to be getting any seasonal skins for weapons apart from 3 dedicated weapons. This is going to be the spear, that's going to be the dual blade, and that is going to be the poleaxe. Now, we have seen the spear skin already. That is the trident, which has been showed off in a lot of the pictures and everything as well. The dual blade and poleaxe, we don't know. we genuinely have not seen anything yet. That is going to be coming later in the season. This is all the Tyranny stuff, which I believe was season 9. So this is all the antique Tyranny stuff here for purchase by Blades. Now I do actually quite like the glaive, to be honest, so I am going to be picking this up. You can get another set of the Battle Pass unit attire and the Battle Pass horse attire as well, if you want another set there as well. So obviously that will be purchasable with the blades that you are earning. Moving on through, obviously different kind of reskins of the Tyranny armor sets, the level 1 and then the level 100. So if you miss these, then this is another chance to actually go and get them. Moving on through, there's a few other kind of armor sets and everything in here. Powder silver, rare armor schematics, treat ice, the usual kind of stuff to find in the seasonal store. I always recommend picking up the XP cards, the powder silvers, the treat ice and schematics, and then just pick up whatever skins you want. To be honest, I've got so many blades saved up. I've literally got 10,000 saved up just so I can jump in here and literally just purchase up loads of stuff straight off the bat, and then I'll save up all the blades again for probably the next season is what I'm gonna do. So moving over to the campaigns before I go into the runes. So we are going to be having the seasonal seal skin lock system again. So for a certain amount of time we want to be able to play tier 3 units, then for a certain amount of time we want to be able to play up to tier 4 units, and then after that every unit will be available. So moving on through, actually on that point I just want to go into, that's only for matchmaking, sorry. In the Colosseum, in ranked and in free battles, I think it was, we will be able to play every single unit still. So territory wars and matchmaking, no, you'll be seasonal locked until obviously the certain week actually comes up. But for territory wars, for ranked battle, for free battle and for Colosseum, sorry, it's really late night, I've not had a chance to record this earlier, we'll be able to play actually like all our units. So moving on through, obviously stuff will unlock as we're actually progressing through the season and everything, and then eventually we will get to the end. Now the main capital this season is going to be of Maoyang, so that's going to be Anyang. The side capital is going to be Anadolu, and I think we're all starting in either the Borderlands or Anadolu. So we've got these two regions open to begin with, and then once we get into the second part of the season, that is when we start getting into Maoyang, my home place. I love Maoyang. I'm really hoping we go there as a house because I absolutely love it, and that is going to be the main capital of this season. So going into what wasn't shown on the official stream, I'm going to show you the seasonal runes. Now there are some very cheeky, nice runes coming. I've had a look at the glaive specific ones, however all the other ones I'm just going to very slowly scroll down through the list so you can have a proper read through them. If there are loads and loads, just pause the video and then carry it on as you've read and stuff. Be aware some of these names are not our localization of the names, so some of the names and everything may change, some of the descriptions may change, but the actual skill itself should be pretty much what it is saying here. So I'm just going to very slowly kind of scroll through here. Obviously I'm going to talk about the glaive ones because they are my classes. So I believe actually this season we are getting some really good runes for a change. So the first one is God of Battles no longer affects allies, but is 20% more potent, and it affects you and your units no matter the distance. That part of it is massive. So what God of Battles does is actually give you a 15% damage increase for a certain amount of time. Obviously with an extra 20%, that's going to be, quick maths, 18% I believe instead of 15%. But the main part of this is it is actually going to affect your units no matter how far away they are from you. So you can literally set up your units on the front line. You could be well away from them at the back, hit this God of Battles, increase their damage by 18%, and actually it's going to be really useful, to be honest, having that massive kind of burst of damage from them. If you're not fancying that one, then the next one we get for the glaive is actually Warmight, and this is our combat dismount. Will actually grant us God of Battles for 5 seconds. Again, that is very, very useful, because when you are combat dismounting, so you're using your jump down ability from the horse, we will get an instant damage buff, and we'll be able to do some very big, heavy hitting damage straight away, which is going to be really, really useful. Using this one, you could actually, if you play the glaive and you play the glaive well, you could actually take God of Battles out of your entire rotation and just solely rely on using your horse, using your combat dismount, and then having an extra skill in place of that God of Battles, something like the Arc of Steel or something, where you can pump out a buttload of damage very, very quickly. I'm going to have fun enjoying and actually trying to find some different builds this season for the glaive. Looking on through all the other ones, I'm going to just let everybody else, I'm just going to let you all kind of just read these, because I don't really know what most of them are, I'm not going to lie. This one, I'm not sure, to be honest, what this actually is. So your Paragon skill also triggers Heat of Battle. The only thing I can think of what they mean by Paragon skill, because obviously this is in our localization, is your ultimate, which I don't know, because if you are using Flying Reaper and then you use Heat of Battle, which actually pushes people back, you may be knocking them out of your own range. It's going to be interesting to see actually how this one kind of works. We'll definitely be doing it. We'll definitely be doing a glaive guide video as usual for the season as well, so keep an eye out for that. Most of the other stuff, I believe, is roughly the same. I think that's quite a new one. I've not seen that one before. There's nothing too kind of big for this though. The runes are usually, like the big ones are usually the kind of weapon runes. As some of this may kind of change very slightly when it actually comes into our kind of version of the game next week, but I will definitely keep an eye on that, and we will see actually just how best to build the glaive and all the rest of it when we get there. So moving on into the unit challenges, obviously this is the thing that most people are interested in. So we are getting 3 brand new units this season. We are getting a tier 3, a tier 4, a tier 5, and I am going to be showing you gameplay footage of all 3 of them. So firstly, the tier 3, the Dimachari, are 2-handed wielders, and think Sons of Femra for these guys. They are quite fast, quite heavy hitting, however very, very squishy, I have noticed in the battle. So you don't really want to just keep these on the front line, because they are going to get squished very, very quickly. However, if you manage to get around the side, if you manage to get around the back of stuff, they will pump out damage very, very quickly, I have noticed. I think in the first part of the season, where we can only use tier 3 units, I think these guys are going to be very well used, and hopefully I'm going to be able to unlock them pretty quick, so I can actually show you then a kind of build guide for them, and we'll see how best to kind of play them. So as usual, just 2 pages to actually unlock these permanently, and then another 2 pages. One will unlock a specific doctrine for them, one will unlock the avatar. You have to at least get them unlocked permanently though before you can progress onto the tier 4. Tier 4 aren't going to be coming until a few weeks after the start of the season. The tier 3 will be there right at the start. Tier 4 is usually 2 or 3 weeks after the start of the season. These are the Myrmidons. Now these guys are the big kind of shieldy, tanky units that are going to come in and really soak up the damage. 3 pages for these to permanently unlock them. I can see these guys being very similar to Imperial Spear Guards, however obviously using a sword. Big heavy shields, they can kind of rush stuff as well. I found actually they did do a fair bit of damage, even though I stacked them up with purple doctrines and everything, just bear that in mind. Did do a fair bit of damage very quickly though, so it's going to be interesting to see just how well these play. I think they're a little bit more of an offensive kind of shield unit rather than the Imperial Spear Guards, which are obviously a more defensive shield unit. So it's just going to be interesting to see actually how much damage and stuff these guys do soak up in our version of the game. Moving on to the tier 5 unit. So this is the big heavy hitting unit of the season. This is the Atari. Now this is a javelin unit which also wields a trident to go and poke stuff to death, which is pretty cool. Loads of different skills for these guys, and actually I think they are really heavy hitting. I've had a quick look as much as I could at their kind of health and everything. They are quite squishy, their health is fairly low, their damage output is very high, however the defense and the health is fairly low for a tier 5 unit, so I'm going to be a little bit kind of concerned about how well these guys do. They can lob, their javelins do massive damage in quite a straight line as well, so really strong line. You've got to unlock the tier 4 unit to actually be able to unlock these guys. These guys won't be available until it's usually about 6 weeks after the start of the season, so you'll have plenty of time to unlock the other tier units first before you get onto these. These guys, you're going to have to unlock 4 pages worth of challenges to actually be able to unlock these permanently, and then another 3 pages for some experience tokens, a doctrine, and then an avatar for them. It's nice to see we're getting 3 units and 3 very gladiator-esque units as well, which are really going to play into the season. Challenges pages looks pretty much the same. Obviously we're going to be getting a different set of weekly challenges each and every week throughout the season. One thing that I do want to show you is they have had a bit of an update in terms of the user interface. So going into the O menu, this has totally changed. It's a lot prettier, it's a lot better laid out, it's a little bit easier to actually see what you're doing as well. Obviously your daily login rewards and everything are just up here, your activities are just here, so it's kind of just a little bit kind of better laid out, looks a little bit prettier, and obviously it just brings up stuff a little easier so you can actually see what is kind of like happening and everything a bit easier than what we could personally do before. The J menu has also changed somewhat as well, so the Colosseum is always going to be in its own kind of thing. They've just tidied everything up, to be honest. It just looks a little bit nicer, it looks a little bit better. Obviously when we get into the actual game mode, obviously you'll have your sieges, your field battles and everything else in here. You'll have your PvE of bandit raids and expeditions in that one. Events, this is a really nice kind of touch that I feel they have done. So what they have done, because everybody always forgets, myself included, what's on which day, now we actually have it in the game, and we actually get the proper timing as well for wherever you are in the world. So it's a lot easier to kind of figure out when deathmatches are, when free battles are. Everybody know or should know when territory war is anyway, but just in case you do forget, it's there as well. But it's just a little bit nicer to try and a little bit easier to try and keep track of all this, to be honest. So it's just a lot better laid out and everything. Obviously your rank battle, now the rank battle system has changed somewhat. I can't remember exactly what they've said, but they've taken away the star protection. I believe it's going to be as long as you're playing, as long as you're contributing to the team, whether you win or lose. I believe you're not going to be punished so much if you are actually contributing properly to the team. For a loss, I don't believe there's any star protection, so you can still go, and you can now again go down as well as up in rank, and I think they said they've increased the amount of stars you need for the end tier ranks, just to kind of prolong the ranked season a little bit more, because people were just absolutely blasting through it in the last season, so they wanted to kind of progress that a little bit more. I believe, to be honest, that is pretty much it. We've had a look at all the runes, the units, the challenges, the campaigns, the seasonal store. I believe that is pretty much it. Obviously we will have different events and stuff throughout the season, as we usually do. More on that as we actually get through them. I believe it's going to be quite a good season. I think the Colosseum mode is going to bring quite a few people kind of back into the game. I know quite a few people that are interested in the Roman gladiator kind of style of things, and it's going to be really good to see, hopefully, more people kind of coming into the game and everything. Very quickly, I'm just going to show you the Fame store while I'm here, because I know a few of you do enjoy seeing this. So it's the usual kind of standard rewards for the lower tier levels. Get a couple different emotes as we're going through, both of which I think both of these are brand new. I don't remember seeing either of these. So just cracking on through all the usual kind of boxes and all the rest of it, and then right at the end we've got this kind of version of the level 100 armor. It's just a different color, and then Lord of the Colosseum right at the end of the fame store there. The usual kind of rewards and everything for all the other levels though, so nothing too kind of majorly changed in there. I believe that's everything that we've got to have a look at in this video. I wanted to try and keep it condensed and everything for all of you. Sorry if I have missed anything. If I have missed anything major, please let me know in the comments and I will make a separate video on it. So if you want to be in with the chance of winning a Battle Pass, you have until Sunday evening to actually leave me a comment on what you are most looking forward to in this next season. If you have already entered on that other video, don't worry about entering on this one. However, you've got to be a subscriber, you've got to have liked this video, and you've got to have commented on either this video or the other video to actually be in with a chance of winning the Battle Pass. I will draw a winner on Sunday evening, and then I will send probably the monetary value of a Battle Pass over to you, because I don't believe I can buy the Battle Pass to send it to you. However, I'll make sure I will send you the monetary value of one so you can actually go off and then purchase it yourself. Thank you very much for watching though, folks. I hope you enjoyed this one. I hope you have enjoyed this look at the new season coming up next week on the 1st of September. Sorry if I've sounded a little bit kind of dazed and dozy and all the rest of it. It is now 11 o'clock at night. I wanted to do this video a lot earlier and sooner, but I have not had the chance. But I wanted to get this out there so everybody could have a proper look at the next season just before it comes out next week. Thank you very much for watching, folks. Hit that sub button, hit that like button, all that lovely fantastic stuff, and I hope to catch you out on the battlefield.